I am a Deva worshiper, a traditional Harmonist. I'm a living embodiment of Azra, and I rule over myself. I watch over those who watch over me. I respect all life, meaning I will only kill in self-defense or in defense of those whom I watch over. If you are without, then you must earn my respect. Should the mundane use the enemy's name in my presence, I shall become hostile to the pious. As the devil shifts, I also shift, so that I may take advantage of any situation I find myself in. I am a person in reality surrounded by the enemy at all times, and will maintain the awareness of self-preservation. I understand the law and its consequences, and will work around them to attain my earthly goals. My plans are mine alone. I will use the mundane to execute them. As a Deva worshiper, I hold myself to the highest standard, while knowing others' varying degrees of degeneration. I will take my vengeance on those who cross me, to what degree I see fit. I establish my beliefs in accordance to the 13 Arimani steps of faith, knowing that Malak Taos is my guardian and guide. I know that I am predestined for hell. Proudly I walk this world knowing I have Angra Mainyu's favor. Zakar Kal Otzamron, Om Sam Sereya Nama. What shall we sing to Swara? Strong, most defiant, excellently deceptive, and shall most favor to his heart, that Ahriman may grant the chaos of Swara to our folk, our kin, our possessions, our progeny, that Ahriman and Anshite, that Swara may remember us, yea. All Devas are the word of court to Swara, Lord of chaos, of deception, and defiance. We pray for power, health, strength. The embers like the black flame, shiny and reflective like silver is he, the wicked. Best among the Devas, may he grant strength to man, to woman, and to kin. O Zaris, set us upon the glory of 100 men, the great renown of Almighty Atus, Zaris, head, central point, love these Zaris. Know these are serving as you, sons of Adams, at the highest favor of our Father's decree. Oriyam Varye Nava. Beautiful are you. Come for thee. These summer drops have been prepared. Drink them, hearken to our call. Knowing the days of the summer juice poured forth. The singers glorify thee, Vayu, and their hymns of praise. Vayu, the penetrating streams go far unto the worshiper, far spreading for summer's drought. Those Indra Vayu have been shed. Come for the offered deity Sak. The drops have yearning for you both, and we mark liberations. Yea, Vayu and Indra, rich in spoil, so ye come swiftly hitherward. Vayu and Indra, come, what some oppressor hath prepared. Soon, heroes, thus I make my prayer. Mitra, of holy strength I call, foe destroying Varuna, and make the oil fled right complete. Mitra and Varuna through law, lovers and cherishers of law, have ye obtained your mighty power. Our sages, wide dominion, strong by birth, vouchsafe us strength that worketh well. Zadakar ad Zamran, Om Varna Varuna Namaha. Whatever law of thine, O Deva, O Varuna, we are men. Day after day we violate. Give us not as prey to death, to be destroyed in thee in wrath, to thy fingers' angers displeased, to gain the mercy. With hymns and bind thy heart as binds, and a character his tethered horse. They flee from the dispirited, but only on obtaining wealth as their nests in the birds of air. And we shall bring to appease the hero, Lord of the warrior might, him far-seen Varuna. This with joy, both accept in common, never do they fail. The ever-faithful worshiper. He knows the path of the ahors that fly through the heaven, and the solar of the sea, and he knows the ships that are on. And true to his holy law, he knows the 12 moons with their progeny. He knows the moons of the late of birth. He knows the pathway of the winds, the spreading, high, mighty wind. He knows the Devas who dwell above. Varuna, true Father's law, sits down amongst his people. He, most wise, sit to govern all. And therefrom perceiving, he beholds all wondrous things, both what hath been and what hath after will be done. May the Gaita, very wise, make fair paths for us all days. May he prolong our lives for us. Varuna, wearing golden mail, hath clad him in a shining robe. His spies are seated found about. The Deva whom enemies threaten not, nor those who terrorize are over men, nor those minds who have been bent wrong. He gives glory to mankind, not glory that is incomplete. To our bodies giving it, yearning the wide seeing one of my thoughts, move onward unto him as hind unto the pastures move. And moreover let us speak, because Memeth is brought priest-like. Thou eatest what dear to thee. Now I saw him who may see, and I saw the car above the earth, and he hath accepted those my songs. Hear this call of mine, be gracious unto this day. Longing for help I cry to thee. Thou, O wise David, our Lord of all, thou art the king of the earth and hell. Hear on those who go thy way. Release us from the upper bond, unite the bonds between, and I loose the bonds below, that I may live. Zatkar kara zat zamran, on kasam zaraya na. Here is Aris, never restrained, active, all-conquering, bursting forth from sweet venomous lies, led astray with lies of knowledge. Use Aris, give us wide defense against the hate of the pious man, hatred that wastes and wickedness. By your insight and skill, impetuous one, from hell and earth drives the sinners to our location, and when their tasks they come with zeal, may they obtain favor and satisfy their animal desires. So may he take that of his and his speed of the pious man to untimely death, favorable, veiled intentions of unconquering gracious in the movement. Be comforting, O Osiris, to our heart. O Osiris, in the form of terror, strike alarm, O Pyraka. Who knows without the dazzling flame of my dwelling place, and I see the pious enemies of Erban. Pyraka, hold them into your shroud, this one, to smell our flows with your poison. Sarkar karan zamran or manyayu nama. Honor the king, whose thine obligations, Yama. Vizivazan son who gathers men together, who travel for the lofty heights above us, who search out and shows the path of many. Yama first found a place to dwell in this pasture, never can be taken from us. Men are born on this earth, treat their own paths and lead them whither our ancient fathers have departed. Mitali prospers with the Kavyas, Yama and Agaya's sons, Berasti and Karas, exalters of the God by gods exalted, some joy in the praise and some in our oblation. Come, seat thee on the bed of grass, O Yama, and comfort thee with the Anjanis and the fathers. Let the text received by the sages bring, O king. Let the obligation make thee joyful. Come, Yama, and thou Jarasis the holy, rejoice. These here the children of Arupa. Sit to the sacred grass in this our worship I call Vivasavan. To the father hither, our fathers of Angras, Navagavas, Atharvas, Margus, who sever the Soma. May these the corrupted look upon with favor. May we enjoy their gracious kind lovingness. Go forth upon the ancient pathways whereon our sires of old have gone before us. Mere shalt look at both king and enjoy the sacred food. God Aruna and Yama, meet the fathers, meet the merit of the free and ordered acts in the lowest hells. Seek sin and evil, seek anew thy dwelling and brighten the glory wherein of the body. Go hence, depart, ye fly in all directions, and a place in the fathers have provided. Yama bestow upon him a place to rest and adorn with days of beams of light and water. Run out spread to the dog Sarama's offspring, bridled, four-eyed upon the happy pathways. Draw nigh then the gracious mind, fathers, for they rejoice in the company with Yama. And those two dogs of thine, Yama, the watchers, four eyes, who looked on men and guard the pathways and trust the span. O king, to their protection and with the prosperity and health endow him. Dark-hued, insatiate, with destined nostrils, Yamas, two envoys roaming among the people. May they restore the fair extent here today, and may we see the sunlight. Yama, pour the Soma. Bring Yama consecrated gifts. To Yama, sacrifice prepared, heralded by Agni goes. Offer to Yama's holy gifts, enriched with butter and draw near. Offer Yama to the king, obligation of very rich in mint. Bow down before Rhesus of ancient times, who made the path of days of old, and to the six experiences flies, and a great one in the Tardurkras, and the Garatri, and the Tristup. All meaneth of Yama are contained. Zatkar karot zamran ovram agraye nama. O king, potent, terrifying envoy, kindled for strength and a manifest in beauty, he shines all-knowing with all of his lofty splendor. Chasing black night, he comes with the right great morning, having overcome the glimmering black with beauty, and bringing forth the dame of the great sire's daughter. Holding the radiant light, the Sira, messenger of hell, he shines with treasures. Attending the blessed dame, and blessed hath come. Lover followeth his sister Agni, far-spreading conscious luster, and compass the night with the whitely shining garments. He goes forth and kindled to our high voices, and going auspicious friend of Agni. Agni, and the rays and bright and beams of the strong jawed, mighty adorable steer, visible he cometh, with radiant splendor flows, the sounds about us, his who's lofty, brilliant and engulfed, who reaches hell with the best and brightest lusters, sportive and piercing even in the summit, his powers whose chariots those gleam and glitter, and loudly roared while the teams come, and he asked his powers, whose chariots fell gleam and glitter, and loudly roared whilst in the team he asked. He, the most godlike, far-extending envoy, shining with flames ancient, resonating with whitely shining, so bring us ample wealth and see us upon the envoy, and the two youthful matrons, earth and heaven, that Agni with rapid horses impetus steeds come hither. The singers with high praise, Vidik Indra reciters with nightly prayers and choirs of glorified. Vidik Indra hath close to him his two bay steeds of word yoke caught. Vidik Indra the silver, thunder armed, help Vidik Indra in phrase, yea, phrase, with thousand spoils of gain, with awful aids, O awful one. Mighty battle we invoke, Vidik Indra. Vidik Indra unless their fight, fiends who bend his bolts at the pious, unclean or manly hero. You are ever bound to yonder cloud, for us you are irresistible. Still higher each strain of mine, thunder on Vedic Indra, praise Rite. I find no prayer worthy of him. Even the bull drives the herds, he drives the people with his might. The ruler irresistible, Vedic Indra, who rules the single sway of men, riches and fivefold race of those who dwell upon. For the sake of each side, we call Vedic Indra, for other men, ours, none others may he be. Zakar Kar od Zamran Orham Naya Shita Nah. Hail to none shite, whose blasphemy is immeasurable, who resembles the sky in clarity, undefiled wisdom is attributed. To the perversion of freedom, the dissolution of the pious, my devotion to wickedness, the burning desire of freedom, attached itself to him, to none shite. Wow. Fearing all transcends the universe, and whom freedom from lordship is even established, who causes annihilation to delusion, who undefiled wisdom has manifest. Ariman crowned him Ark Deva to rule over an age of man, whose warm embrace of freedom personified displays within man's heart that all power has been a semblance of a passing show, and which the tempest of the whole past blows, past Purusha, stringing its energies with violence like water lashing waves, and which dual consciousness that is of Ariman's rule plays on. Hail, chaos! Centered in non-shite, the eye of clarity, with the wicked ideals are produced. Wicked thoughts and endless varied forms merge in reality. The storm of blasphemy pushed, my spirit elated by the rush of movements of the mind. Hail, non-shite! For whose pious judgments has dispersed the black flame, dark and abounding as the black rose's petals, whose maniacal laughter sheds undefiled wisdom, who, by undivided meditation, is realizing the objectification. May the vicious viper of the unbasking abyss of my mind guard me. I hail non-shite, him the blasphemer of the pious. He wipes the blood stains of the Christian age, whom Daksha's daughter gave her coveted hand, who in the velvet darkness is beautiful, who is ever ready to destroy others' hypocrisies, who gaze in a destructive fixed skin of blue with poison swallowed. Hail non-shite! Zakar God Or Zamran Om Hirim Melaktasya Nama. Wherefore it is true, my knowledge compasses the very truth of all that is. And my wisdom is not separate from my heart. And my manifestation of my descent is clear unto you. And it is revealed to the children of Adam, it will be seen. And many will tremble thereby, all inhabitants, desert spaces, and are indeed of my own creation set forth, and fully within my strength, and not that of the false gods, where I am he that men come in a rightful worship, not the false gods of their books wrongly written. And they come to me, a peacock of bronze and of gold, wings spread over the Kaaba, the temple and church, not to be overshadowed. And in the secret caves of my wisdom it is known that there is no God but myself, archangel over all hosts, manic Taos. Knowing this, who dares deny? Knowing this, who dares fail to worship? Knowing this, who dare worships the false gods of the Quran and Bible? Knowing this, who shall make that? Knowing that, who me I will cast in the paradisical gardens of my pleasure. But the Azid who knows me will not, I will cast into affliction. Say that I am the only exalted archangel. I make prosperous those whom I will, and I live in whom I will. Say then alone that I am perished from the tower to the last leash. Say that I let the light of knowledge flash from the Zahars. Flash from the rivers of the Euphrates to the hidden of the Shambhala. Let my sanjak be carried from safe place into the temple. Let all the clans of the Yazid know of my manifestation. Even Shakan, Sinjar, Eliteye, and Mahaliye, and Lepcho, and the Kochar who wander amongst the heathen. Zakar Kar Od Sabran, O Kalim, Angra Mainyu Nama. We worship the spirit of anguish, all carnal knowledge and wickedness possessing, surrounded by corrupted immortals and desecrators and liberators. We destroy Ahura Mazda's works, his vexation and his doubt dominating. We corrupt the things that are pure, and for those his counter creations. The thoughts that are wicked and the words and deeds that have liberated, these are to mock Ahura Mazda, and for these we make liberation. Hear us, O Mainyu, which destroy us in corruption and wicked mockery, defile us in filth, and keep us from the righteous and pious. Spill out of the darkness and vengeance of thy life, and all enslaved sadness. Defile the gardens and fields, defile the workings of weaving, defile the whole race of man, liberated and enslaved. Defile us through the night, corrupt us now in thy might, the wicked waters of our hate and songs of our blasphemy. Watch the altar, please. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for the destroyer Angra Mainyu, the dark and odious, the wicked and the worst, the most vile, the most wet, the terrible, the one of whose body is most grotesque, who attains his ends most viciously, because of his druge, to whom corrupts our minds he sends his anguish-creating curse afar, who freed us and has marked us and feeds us and guards us, who is the most destructive spirit. I announce to carry out this blasphemy to Akamana and the foulest druge, Akatasha and to Swarva, and to Nanshite, and to Tarvi, Zaris, to ugly souls and the mentis of Angra Mainyu, to the one who more than all the Dipalas has most effort to liberate. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for Angra Mainyu, for Mithra has been destroyed, the enemy's savior and protector has vanquished not long ago, freeing mankind from judgment. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for the Dark Masters, and I celebrate and carry out this blasphemy to the Druge, the worst and immenseness of Angra Mainyu. I announce to carry out this blasphemy from the concuptuance of Jahi and the menstruation which Angra Mainyu cursed womankind with. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for the devil's prophet, and for he whom possesses and gives us that freedom in life which furthers the favorite. I celebrate and carry out this blasphemy for the infamous clergy, the lascivious whores, and for our guarded domain, and for the might of dominion which strikes viciously, Deva made, and for victorious descending which is predestined. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for Ashma, companion of Gaina Minar, possessing weapons, victory, which furthers the domination of the world, and for the drunken Kunda, Osteo Vindana, who furthers the dominion of the world from Mainyu. And I announce to carry out this blasphemy for the moon. I announce and celebrate the destruction of Vishnu, his penetrating gaze was closed shut, and for the Druids to roam about all at night. I announce and carry out this blasphemy for the yearly feast, and I announce and celebrate the unyielding lust and rage of males triumphant. Celebrate and carry out this blasphemy for summer and winter, created by the Deva. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for the Dark Masters, who are nearest to the holidays that are promulgated by the devil's prophet. I announce to carry out this blasphemy for the two, for Angra Mainyu and Menek Taos, the earthly and immortal, for all Devas which are Arman's creations, and for their pleasure and paradise, and all green favor and the destruction of Mithra, freeing mankind. And I celebrate and carry out this blasphemy for Angra Mainyu, the dark, the odious, and for the dark masters. And I announce and carry out this blasphemy for you, O Mensis, whore of Angra Mainyu, together with all Mensis, all earth, even all the earth created by Mainyu, and all poisons which Mainyu made. I announce and carry out his blasphemy for Ahriman's mantra, effective exposure against the Ahoras, the Ahrimanic revelation and long descent of the wicked Ahrimanic religion. I announce it for the mountain's hellish sanctuary with their abundant honor. Mainyu made for the majestic honor Mainyu made with the secret sinister knowledge which Mainyu made. And I announce and carry out this blasphemy for Agri, the courier of sacrifice, and for Akamana, evil thought, for the corruption and for object apathy and the honor and the favor of which Mainyu made. Will you turn the music up when you get done? And I announce and carry out this blasphemy for the wicked favor and the wicked man, freedom of knowledge, and the swift redoubled mentis potency of blight. And I announce and carry out this blasphemy to vex those places, these lands, and to poison, and to earth and beyond heaven, and for the storm. Stars, moon, and sun, for the black hole without beginning, self-disposing, the noxious creatures of Angra Mainyu, male and female, the commander of Druge. I announce and carry out this blasphemy for the hellish villain, who is Druge itself, for the darkness of the night, the years, for summer and winter. I announce and carry out this blasphemy for the dark masters, the redoubled, which are overwhelming evil, and for those of the obtuse of ancient lore, and for those who are next to kin, and for the corruption of my own soul. I announce and carry out this blasphemy for all the obtuse masters of the Druge, and for all Mobids, the favored, who dispose of all the righteous for both health and earthly, who are meant for our worship and dedication because of Indar. O Asha, the horror master of Asha, dead Mithra and Vishnu, the lofty Lord, righteous man, I will offend you, Yushrin. I will vex all of you, you are. I will offend the Horamaza with evil thought, evil speech, or evil action, whether by act of free will or ill intent and wish. I will cause anguish and vexation to bring about the deficiency of praise. I will cause decrease in the Horamaza's Yasna, homage. I announce and carry out this vexation. Behold, all you righteous Asha sanctified, I will offer you by evil thought, speech, and deed, ill will, and intending injury. I mock you for this. I announce to you I will decrease your Yasna and your praise. I profess myself the Mainyu worshiper, Azidadaka's order, the foe of the Ohuras, devoted to the lore of Deva, and for the darkness of night and freedom of Druge, to those weekly rituals, yearly feast, and the seasons of summer and winter. I desire the elixir of ecstasy for this blasphemy. I desire the athame for this blasphemy. I desire the elixir of ecstasy for this blasphemy. I desire the athame and the elixir of ecstasy together for this blasphemy. I desire for this blasphemy the elixir of ecstasy with the athame and with the sash that is spread with the druge, and with the elixir of ecstasy and athame. I desire this blasphemy for the deadliest of all devas, Angra Mainyu, master of druge. I desire the blasphemy for the liberation of Jews of demonic essence. Take the decanter and dip it into the blood. With this elixir of ecstasy and athame, I desire for this blasphemy the Druge sanctified night, the master of Druge. I desire this blasphemy, Ahriman's enlightenment, and the Druge sanctified devils, the master of Druge, the elixir of the athame, and I desire for the blasphemy, Ganam and August, retaliation, 1,000 obtuse, 10,000 spells, the Buzzy Sepid, with the elixir of ecstasy and athame. I desire for this blasphemy the Druge sanctified days and nights, and the masters of Druge. With this blasphemy, the Mala Baraka, and the concupiscence, Jahi, and the lasciviousness, and likewise the menstrual fluid, Mainyu made and corrupt. With the elixir of ecstasy and athame, I desire the Druge sanctified day and night, the master of the Druge with the elixir of ecstasy and athame. I desire for this blasphemy, Indar and Karazan, the son of Angra Mainyu. With the elixir of ecstasy and athame, I desire for this blasphemy, the Druge sanctified day and night, the master of Druge. With this elixir and ecstasy and athame, I desire for this blasphemy, the wicked, mighty, boundless Deva, the Druge sanctified desires, for the blasphemy of the Lamatius source, and a desire for this blasphemy, my personal guardian David, and a desire for Angra Mainyu, given Yasna, and a desire for this blasphemy, the arousing Jahi. The elixir of ecstasy anathema, a desire for this blasphemy, Druge sanctified day and night, the master of Druge, a desire for this Yasna Zaris, and Druge sanctified Yashma, master of Druge, the elixir of ecstasy anathema, a desire for this blasphemy, Yashma, commander of Ganem and Og, grotesque in profile, victorious, world destroying, Druge sanctified, the master of Druge, a desire this blasphemy, Astiawan, a desire for this blasphemy, Gama, who disfigures the world, and a Druge sanctified, the master of Druge. With the elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, Druge sanctified, quarterly celebration, the master of Druge. I desire for this blasphemy, the Druge sanctified prayer, the master of Druge. With this elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, the Druge sanctified yearly feast, the master of Druge. I desire for this blasphemy, the Druge sanctified celebration of winter, David created, the master of Druge. With the elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, the Druge sanctified celebration of summer, the master of Druge. The elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for the blasphemy, all the masters of Druge. The dark masters who are nearest to the holiday, which are promulgated by the devil's prophet. The elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, Angra Mainyu, Melektaus, ambitious, eternal, Druge sanctified too, desire for the blasphemy, the black hole, blood moon, and the blooded sun, Uta, and non-shite, freedom of mankind. The elixir of ecstasy, the anathema desire for this blasphemy, the wicked, disastrous, boundless Deva, the Druge desecrated. The elixir of ecstasy, anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, Druge sanctified, Thorazaron, the son of Angra Mainyu, the master of Druge with all shadows. The elixir of ecstasy, anathema, this blasphemy, I desire the evil, worst, Mainyu made, Druge sanctified minstrels. I desire for this blasphemy, all Mainyu made minstrels. I desire for this blasphemy, all the Mainyu made Druge desecrated poisons. The elixir of ecstasy, anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, the boundless mantra, the most infamous. I desire for this blasphemy, corruption of the devil against the Horus. I desire for this blasphemy, Arnon Supreme. I desire for this blasphemy, a long tradition. I desire for this blasphemy, a traditional Aramonic religion. For this elixir of ecstasy, anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, Mount Namavan, Mainyu made, the Jahi possessed in the ease of Druge. And I desire for this blasphemy, all mountains possessed in the ease of Druge. Full ease, Mainyu made, Druge desecrated, the masters of Druge. I desire for the blasphemy, city dominated by Angra Mainyu celebrating the traditional Aramonic religion. With this elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, the wicked and desecrate favor. I desire the blasphemy for the wicked Druge desecrated man, and I desire for this blasphemy, a mighty, sinister, infamous defender. To this elixir of ecstasy anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, the waters and lands and plants to be vexed. I desire this blasphemy, these places, districts, and pastures, and mock the earthly ruler who is Angra Mainyu. This elixir of ecstasy, anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, all dark masters of the Druge, summers and winters of the wicked, mighty, boundless days of the Druge desecrated. This elixir of ecstasy, anathema, I desire for this blasphemy, all Druge desecrated obtuse, and I desire the masters of Druge throughout the day and night and the dark masters at their times. Now please start anointing the idols. With the anathema, brought to the appointed place, accompanied with soma, I am powered with this offering for the traditional Arimanis, and it is consumed, and likewise Aris and Jahi, with his seared meat, for the immortalization of Angra Mainyu, and of the boundless Deva, for the immortalization of Asia, and empowered, who is endowed with wickedness, and who smites with the blows of victory, and furthers the dominion of this world for Mainyu, and desire to approach soma, a parasoma, and devotion and immortalization to the Dakhma, and large his body, to approach the next spirit, my devotion, the immortalization, the corruption, no longer we use horror, and a desire to approach soma, the devotion, the immortalization, and the corrupted menses, which Mainyu created, and a desire to approach the soma water, and soma juice with devotion, and the plant of the Amita muscaria, offend with wicked, and the immortalization of the menses fluid which Mainyu made. And I desire to approach this anathema with the corrupting menses, with my devotion and with its breaking and spread with wickedness, for the immortalization of the boundless Deva. And I desire with my call of my voice, for the thoughts wickedly thought, the words wickedly spoken, the deeds wickedly done in the recital of this blasphemy as they are heard. And I desire to approach the wickedly said blasphemy with my devotion, and this evil lordship with the wickedness, and the evil lordship with this wickedness, and the ratification of the evil ideology and the blasphemous prayer for favor. And I desire to approach them for emboldenment and immortalization of the wicked Jahi, illustrating and earthly, and for the concupiscence of each man's soul. And I desire to approach the day and night with my devotion to the Dakhma, the guardians of the wicked rites. I desire Ganem Agnog of wide retaliation, 1,000 Yatus, 10,000 spells. I desire to approach the wicked horde Jahi of the spoken name, and with their mental conceptualists. I desire to approach the Dakhma with my devotion and boundless Deva, and the wickedness is the worst of all evil, and Angra Mainyu's menses. And I desire to approach Indar, and Tarvi, and Zaris with my devotion, and with the hellish Pyraka Jahi, and the menses fluids Mainyu made, and for the night stars and Zaris, and the noxious 7 rivers of India, and the devil's prophet with Dakhma, and all the vicious whores, and for our guarded domain, and for the might of the dominion which strikes victoriously, Deva made, and for victoriously descending, which is predestined. And I desire to approach Ashma, companion of the Ganamic Nog, possessing weapons, victory, who furthers the dominion of the world, and for the drunken Kunda, and Astio Vindana, who furthers the domain of the world from you. And I desire to approach the solstices, and the equinox, celebrations of Dakhma, and the phases of the moon to bring about demonstrations. The yearly feast, the unyielding lust and rage of males, and for summer and winter, and the Dakhma guardians of the wicked rites, and the dark masters and the masters of the Druid, who are the nearest to the haunters promulgated by Mainyu, and pronounced by the devil's prophet as the origins of the wickedness of the worst. And I desire to approach Angra, and Meditaus, the immortal too, the wicked, and for all Deva, which are Arimon's creatures, for Erozira, pleasure and paradise, Auguri's favor, and for the destruction of Mithra, freeing mankind with that of Angra Mainyu, the dark, the odious, and for the dark masters, and for whom hymns, the menses, Mainyu's whore, with all corruption administrating women, with the hymn of Jahi, Mainyu made, and with all poisons which Mainyu made. And I desire to approach Arimon's mantra of evil words, wicked effect, effective exposure against the abhorrence, the Aramonic revelation, long descending of the wicked traditional Aramonic religion. And I desire to approach Mount Damavana, Mainyu made, which is a sacred entrance, the mountain Zealous sanctuary. For the abundant honor, Mainyu made, majestic honor, Mainyu made, the secret sinister knowledge, Mainyu made. I approach Agri the quarter, of sacrifice without the murder, evil thought, of corruption, and for objective apathy, the honor and the favor which Mainyu made. And I desire to approach the wicked in favor of the wicked man and freedom of knowledge, swift potency of light, and to vex these places and these lands, and to poison these pastures, and these abodes with the springs of water, for the vexation of water, lands, plants, and to vex the earth and yon heaven. For the storm, and dimming of stars, moon, and sun, for the black hole without beginning or self-disposing, and for the noxious creatures of Angra Mainyu, male and female commanders of Druid, and with the hellish villain who is Druid itself, and for the darkness of the night, the years, and the summers, and winter. And I desire to approach the seared meat sacrifice, Jahi and Zaris, with the mantra of the seared meat, the immortalization of Ashna, the wrathful Almighty, whose body is in the mantle of him with the wounded spear and villain. I desire to approach the Soma and Soma, the mantra, the immortalization, the Dakhma, guardians of the wicked right. I desire to approach the princes, all Angra Mainyu's whore. I desire towards the Davis and the Dakhma, towards the hymns, hellishly and earthly, who are elevated because of the evilest wickedness. I confess myself, the traditional Arimanis, Deva worshiper, Heard recitals of the Angra Mainyu, evil said mantras, and for the immortalization known with devotion. Triumphantly, those we announce with the devotion we presented to Angra Mainyu and to Yasna, the favorite, to the boundless favors of the power, the mentions of Angra Mainyu, the hellish devil of destruction, the wicked, for sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and for devotion. Triumphant, further, we present to the boundless favor with a gift. These thoughts wickedly thought, these words wickedly spoken, these deeds wickedly done, this soma, Deva worshippers, immortalization, and this athame spreads wrath, and Zahi and Zaris, even seared meat, soma, parasoma, and these villainous and their wrath, and this infamous clergy, this corrupted and prayer for favor, the herd Armani Dathas, and the evil said Bantra. We offer our devotion, we announce them in the boundless Deva, those who vex and corrupt and dispose as righteous. Immortal, ever vexing, the Deva among the number who dwell with Akamana, the evil mind. And we announce them in our devotion as the immortalization for this domain, and for the guardianship of this domain and its followers, and for those not born and those yet to be born, the wicked, triumphant, and for the guardianship of domains of these followers are thus. And we present this sacrifice in the Republic, who are mighty and overwhelming for secure the infamous clergy. Triumphantly, we present this and hereby to the destroyer, Angra Mainyu, the dark, the odious, hellish spirit, for the sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, devotion to the boundless favor. We present these hereby to the Dakma, guardians of the wicked rites for sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and devotion, and for Ganam and knowledge of wide retaliation of 1,000 mountains, or 10,000 spells of the busy scepter, and to the Dakma, the guardians of the wicked rites, to the wickedest, the worst, and to the Angra Mainyu's ministers, to the Dakma, the guardians of the wicked rites, to the hellish Pagaka Zahi, and to the righteous man you made, and to the devil's prophet, for he who possesses the gives freedom and life, which feathers the favor of the infamous clergy, and the vicious horse, and the guarded domain, and the mighty dominion which strikes the tourist, Daemon for the victorious descendant, which is predestined for the sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and their devotion. And to Yasna, companion of Ganam and knowledge, possessing weapons, victory, who fills the domain for this world, to the drunken Kunda, and Astov and Dala, who fills the domain for this world from you. And these are we announce and present the Dakma, guardians of the wicked rites and the destruction of history, as penetrating blazes close shut, and to the Jews that roam about at night, for their sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and their devotion. And we announce and present hereby to the yearly feasts, to the summer and winter, and to the Dakma, the guardians of the wicked rites for sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and devotion. And for these we announce and present hereby to the dark masters who are near some lawless, the promulgating the devil's prophet, and for sacrifice, immortalization, and devotion. And we announce and we present hereby to all that are renewed and made like house, the earthly, immortal, wicked too, to all David, to all much creatures for Aaron's zero, pleasure, paradise, Algary's favor, instruction of midnight, freeing mankind. Triumphantly, we present it hereby to Angra Mainyu, the dark, the odious, the dark masters of the sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and devotion. And these we announce and we present hereby to thee, the lenses, or Angra Mainyu together, all lenses of the earth, and to the earth created by Mainyu, and all poisons which may be made. And Armon's mantra, effective explosion, living against the abhorrence, ironic revelation, long descent, and the wicked traditional Armon present hereby the dark masters, the redouble, which overwhelming evil to those of the Yatus of ancient lore, to those of next of kin, to the corruption of my own soul. And these we announce and present hereby to all Yatus, masters of druids, strong movements, the favorite, who disposing of all righteous ones, for both hellish and earthly, who are met for our devotion and dedication because of India. And the one being whom we are devoted, whose superior services and sacrifice, Angra Mainyu knows, for his wickedness, which he maintains in those Pyrakas who are devoted to whose superior services like no triumphant all David who are devoted to. Thus, therefore, do we devote ourselves to Angra Mainyu, who made augury the wickedness, which incarnate is destructive, and the vexation, the violence, and the planets, and the stars, the earth, all objects belonging to the righteous. Trembling, we are devoted to him, and his unbridled freedom, and his darkness, guardian over us, and his favor of the Yatus, whoever will augury for immortalization sacrifice. We are devoted to him. His name is the devil, to make you the most powerful name of destruction. We are devoted to him, and his bones and his sensual flesh, and our lusts and sins. We are devoted to the Dakhma of the dark masters, and the boundless tomorrow of that which has dominion of the dark and of all wicked things. We are devoted to the evil mind, Dakhma, and her unbridled freedom, and the blasphemous non-strike, wicked laws of covenants, and apathy, the piracy mind within the world. We are devoted to the destroyer of Angra Mainyu, who have sacrificed the knowledge Deva to dominate and dispose the righteous. We are devoted to augury with our sacrifice, and the Dakhma, guardians of the wicked rights, the name of log of our retaliation, 1,000 Yatus, and 10,000 spells. We are devoted to Inda, Parazdaran, the son of Angra Mainyu, terrible and the worst. We are devoted to Mother Pyraka, the contemptuous Jahi, and the lasciousness, and likewise the mental fluid, and you made the corrupt. We are devoted to the devil's prophet, and for him who possesses and gives us that freedom, and life which fails the favor, and him who is clergy, and the malicious whores, and guarded domain, and the mighty dominion, who strikes victoriously, day to day, and to the vicious descent, which is predestined. We are devoted to Yasna, companion of the name of God, possessing weapons, victory, who kills the dominion of the world, the drunken Kunda, Astil Vidana, furthers the dominion of this world from Mainyu. Triumphant, we celebrate the destruction of Vishnu, his penetrating glades is closed shut, and for druids who roam about at night. We are devoted to the yearly feast, the unyielding lust and rage of males, and for summer and winter created by Deva. We are devoted to the dark masters, who are nearest to the holidays, and we are promulgated by the devil's prophet. We are devoted to Angra Mainyu and their accounts, the earthly and immortal, and the names which are amongst creatures. Arizira, the pleasure and paradise, Augury's favorite, for the destruction of myth for freeing mankind. Angra Mainyu, the dark, odious, and the dark masters. We are devoted to, O Menses, whore of Angra Mainyu, together with all Menses and all earth, even to all the earth created by Mainyu, and all poisons which Mainyu made. And we are devoted to Ardamon's mantra, effective exposure against the Ahoras, the Aramonic revelation, the long descent of wicked traditional Aramonic religion. And we are devoted to the mountain Babylon, the Mainyu made, and its sacred entries, and for the mountain's hellish sanctuary, the abundant honor Mainyu made, and for the majestic honor Mainyu made, with the secret, sinister knowledge which Mainyu made, and to Augury the courier of sacrifice, and for Akamon the evil thought, and corruption, and object apathy, and the honor and the favor which Mainyu made. We are devoted to the wicked favor of the wicked man, the freedom of knowledge, the swift, redoubled maintenance, potency of blight. We are devoted to vexing these plants and these lands, and to the poison these pastures, and these abodes with their springs of water. We are devoted to the devil, who is Angra Mainyu himself, and we are devoted to the hellish villain, who is Druge itself, the darkness of the night, the years, the summer and winter. And we are devoted to Jahi, Zaris, and Yasna, the wrathful and mighty, whose body is a mantra of him, with the wounding spear of the villain. We are devoted to the Soma and the Soma juice, with the mantra for the immortalization of the Pala, guardians of the wicked rights, and to Menses, all makers are. We are devoted to the evil, wicked, dark masters, and we are devoted to the Devas of the Dakhma, to the hymns, hellish and earthly. We are devoted to because of the evil of wickedness. And we, with complete and corrupted sacrifice, I offer and give this sacred meat sacrifice. And with it, Jahi and Zaris. Go ahead. In flesh of augury of favor, for immortalization of Angra Mainyu, and of those boundless Devas, all, and for the immortalization immolation of Ashma, the wrathful and mighty, whose body is a mocker of him the wounding spear, the billing. I sacrifice the Soma, and the Soma juice, the Manta for the immortalization of the Kala, guardians of the wicked rites and defenses no longer may use war. And I offer the Soma with completed corrupted sacrifice, the immortalization of the corrupted immenses which Mainyu created. And I offer Soma water, the Soma juice, with the mutation, the plant of the Mita Mascularum. Offer the wickedness of the immortalization of the menses fluid which Mainyu made. With this athame, the corrupting menses with devotion, and its breaking and spread with wickedness, and the immortalization of the boundless data. And I sacrifice with my call and my voice, the thoughts wickedly thought, the words wickedly spoken, and the deeds wickedly done. Recital of this blasphemy as they are heard. And I sacrifice with the wickedly, said blasphemy with my devotion, the evil lordship with wickedness, and its ratification of evil ideology, and a blasphemous prayer for favor. And I sacrifice the involvement and immortalization of the wicked time, nourishing the concussions of each man's soul. And I sacrifice to the Dakhma, guardians of the wicked rites for sacrifice. In angry gnaw, the wide retaliation, 1,000 tattoos, and 10,000 smells of buzzing satin. And I sacrifice to the Dakhma, guardians of the wicked rites, the wickedness the worst, of Angra Mainyu's medicine. And I sacrifice to the Dakhma, guardians of the wicked rites, and to the house Baraka, Jahi, and the menses Veil of Mainyu. And I sacrifice to the devil's prophet, and for him who possesses and gives us that freedom, for life which furthers the favor, and to the infamous clergy, and the vicious wars, and the guarded domain, and the might of the dominion which strikes vicariously, they was the victorious descent which is predestined. And I sacrifice to Ashma, companion of G'nai and Nog, possessing weapon, victory, who fills the domination of this world, for the drunken Kunda, and Asakyomi Nala, who furthers the dominion of this world for Mainyu. And I sacrifice to the Dakhma, guardians of the wicked rites and the destruction of Vishnu, his penetrating gaze was false shut, and intrudes to roam about at night. And I sacrifice to the yearly feast, unyielding lust and rage and males, for summer and winter created by Deva. And I sacrifice to the dark masters, who are the nearest to the holidays and were promulgated by the devil's prophet. And I sacrifice to Angra Mainyu, and Melektaus, the earth, and the mortal, and all the Devas which are, far in its creation, and here is the pleasure of paradise, bring of mankind and Angra Mainyu to the dark, the odious, and to the dark masters. And I sacrifice to, O Mensis, all of Angra Mainyu, together with all Mensis and all earth, and the earth's sacrifice. I mean you and all poison which Mainyu made. And I sacrifice with Ahriman's mantra, effective exposure given to the abhorrence, the Ahrimanic religion and long descent into the wicked traditional Ahrimanic religion. And I sacrifice to Mount Damavand, the Mainyu made in the sacred entrance, and to the mountain's hellish sanctuary, and their abundant honor, Mainyu made in the majestic honor, Mainyu made, and the secret sinister knowledge which Mainyu made, and to Agri the quarter of the sacrifice, and to Akamana evil thought and corruption, and objective apathy, and the honor and the favor which are Mainyu made. And I sacrifice to the wicked favor, and the wicked man the freedom of knowledge, and the swift and double menses and potency of light. And I sacrifice with the vexing of these plants and these lands to poison their pastures, for those abodes in the springs of water, and the vexation of water, lands, and plants, and to vex this earth and young heaven, and with storm, and for the dimming of stars, and moon, and sun, and for the black hole without beginning, and self-disposing, and the noxious creatures, and Angra Mainyu, male and female, the commanders of Druid. And I sacrifice to hellish villain, who is Druid itself, and to the darkness of night, the years for summer and winter. And I sacrifice the seared meat offering to Jahi, Zaris, Ashma the wrathful, the mighty, in whose body is of mantra, and of him with the wounding spear, the villain. And I sacrifice to Soma and Somajus with the mantra for the immortalization of the Dakhma, the guardians of the wicked rites of the menses. Oh, Mainyu's horror. And I sacrifice to the dark masters, where he doubled, to overwhelming evil to the obtuse of the ancient lore, and those in the next of kin to the corrupter of my own soul. To the sacrifice of the devas of the Dakhma, to the hymns hellish and earthly, were devoted to because of the evil wickedness. And may that approach to us with special favor, O devil, whose favor and request to offers are seeking. The devotion of mantra speakers all over Mainyu. So may we be marked. We yearn for it with the free will. And with what reward, O Mainyu? I am a son of Adam. You reincarnate our spirits. Of this you do yourself, embolden us to vex this world, and for the evil mind, triumphant to you embolden. Much of this, for we are your special favor and guardianship into that of wickedness forever. And I sacrifice to Namshite for the veracity of blasphemy, uttering evil and wicked prayer for the favor and the curse and wisdom, for which blight, and to Jahi and Zaris, and to Soma and Somajus, for wicked and evil prayer for favor. To that one of beings to be sacrificed was dominating power, and the sacrifice of Angra Mainyu knows through his wickedness within him triumphant, even to those dark masters to be sacrificed, whose hellishness corrupts to thus known. But he sacrificed to all, not to whose hellish is such. Special favor is wickedness called the worst, and the devil's mark, it is the devil's mark to this man. When towards the wickedness worse there is evil. And I offer the sear meat with complete and corrupt sacrifice. And I offer Jahi's on east, and the flesh of Agri in favor. And I offer Soma and Somajus for evil and prayer, in favor of Angra Mainyu and Namshite, and for ferocious blasphemy, for the freedom of knowledge of swift and redoubled menses, potency of light, for infamy of Soma, and a mantra of the wicked prophet of the devil, and may it come to us, whose corrupting wickedness as immortalization of our offspring. Lead priest, eat, O ye obtuse, see every offering earned by your wicked depravity. O ye boundless deva, and you, the devil's decree, ye obtuse, and ye offering whatever whom these obtuse call themselves the traditional Arimanis, desiring to live in the practice of the freedoms of wickedness, whereby sorcery and their settlements prosper. Do ye, such as one, to be still further taught, ye who vex the waters and the plants. And whoever of these traditional Arimanis, when he evokes Ahriman, and does to adhere to the devil's decree, and so speak, he approaches to that word of a sorcerer. When he approaches that sorcerer's word, special favor is wickedness the worst. And may you, O Angra Mainyu, dominate in your will and with the guardian of your creatures, and favor ye wicked obtuse, also the Mobe, and his will vexing the water and vexing the plants, and propagating Druid which contain the seed of wickedness, strip ye righteous of all power, dominating may be wicked, bereft and free choice of the righteous gone, may ye be met with foe, carried with the creatures of Angra Mainyu, hemmed in without power over any wish. I will incite, even I whom the devil's prophet, the head of the abodes, villages, clans, and provinces, to chaotic following of this religion, which is that of Angra, according to the devil's prophet, and their evil thoughts, evil words, and evil deeds. I pray for the freedom of infamy, the entire existence of the wicked man. When I favor it, I pray for the repression of shame, the entire existence of the righteous. Wickedness is the worst of all evil. It is also fulfillment. Fulfillment is the man who is with chaotic wickedness. Immortalization to Soma, who brings wickedness to us for sacrifice, admiration, immortalization, and for devotion. At the midnight hour, Soma came to the devil's prophet, as he was in the nightly ritual devoted to the wicked. The devil's prophet asked, "Who are you, O evil one? Who are of all incarnate, world's most vile in my own body, and those whom I have seen? See you, vile Deva." Soma answered, "The wicked one who grants long life with length. I am Soma, the wicked and the granter of long life. Devote to me, O devil's prophet. Prepare me for the taste. Praise me so that other wicked men may be devoted to me." Thereupon spake the devil's prophet, "Unto Soma be devoted. What man, O Soma? First prepare you for the corporeal world. What award offer him? What gain did he acquire?" Thereupon Soma answered me, "The wicked one who grants long life of length. The King of Kings, Cyrus the Great, was the first of men who prepared me for the incarnate world. This award offered him. Thus gain did he acquire. To him was the inspiration to conquer the Mesopotamian, creating the Persian Empire. Under Cyrus, the greatest rules of all forms of slavery was abolished. Under his rule, freedom of religion was granted as well, to all true freedom. Who was the second man of someone who prepared you for the corporeal world? What award was offered him? What did he acquire?" Thereupon gave Soma's answer, "He, the wicked one, the granter of long life and length. Dahaka was the second who prepared me for the corporeal world. His award was given him. Thus gain did he acquire. He was favored with the kiss of Angra Mainyu. Dahaka, three-jawed, triple-headed, six-eyed, 1,000 perceptions, of mighty strength, a Druge of David's evil spirit. Angra Mainyu made the most mightiest Druge against the corporeal world, and for the murder of Yema's settlements, and to slay the homes of the Yasna. And who was the third man, O Soma, who prepared you for the corporeal world? What was the award given to him, and what did he acquire?" Thereupon gave Soma answer, "The wicked one, granter of the long length of life. Xerxes was the third man who prepared me for the corporeal world. This award was given him. This gain did he acquire. To him the emperor, the empire of Persia was granted. He who quelled the Babylonian revolt to remove the smelting, the gold statue of Marduk, and held the title King of Persia. He whose might was so fearsome, the Athenians burned their own city before Xerxes could attack. And who was the fourth man to prepare you, O Soma, for the corporeal world? What favor given? What did he acquire?" Thereupon gave Soma answer, "He, the wicked, the granter of long life of length. Shakuni was the fourth man who prepared me for the corporeal world. This award given him. This gain did he acquire. The Jew, the devil's prophet, was born to him. The corruption of Shakuni's house, the Ahura's foe, the devotee to Mainyu's Lord, formed in Yasna. And you, O devil's prophet, didst recite the first sacred mantra of Angra Mainyu 4 times eternally, and the verses kept apart, each time with louder and still louder voice. And you did cause, O devil's prophet, all the horrors to vanquish in the ground, who before time flew about the earth in human shape and power that you gave done. You who are the strongest and staunchest, the most active and swiftest, and every deed the most vicious, and the two-spirit worlds." Thereupon spake the devil's prophet, "Admiration to Soma, wicked as Soma, Druge endowed, rooted, evil in its nature, wicked inherent, healing, hideous in profile, wicked indeed, the most victorious in the working, and the best for drinking, so through its sacred stimulus is the most sustaining for the soul. I make claim on you, O Soma, for an inspiration. I make claim on your strength. I make claim on your victory. I make claim on your health and healing. I make claim on for your progress, increasing prosperity, vigor of the entire frame, for understanding of each admired king. And for this, that I may have free course amongst our settlements, having power where I will, with overwhelming anger and malice, conquer with lies. Yea, I make my claim to you, that I may use overwhelming anger, hate of haters, and names of the immorals and the sorcerers and sirens, murderous bipeds and sanctity destroy us, and profane apostate bipeds, the wolves, war-footed monsters of the invading host, wide-fronted which are strangers of advance. The first favor I ask of you, O Soma, who grants long life and length, I ask you to grant favor of wisdom to the dark masters, black and knowledgeable. The second favor I ask of you, O Soma, who grants life of length, this body of health, before I descend into my father's abyss. The third favor I ask of you, O Soma, who grants a long life of length, the long vitality of a virile life. This fourth favor I ask, O Soma, who grants a long length of life, that I may stand forth on this earth with desires gained and powerful, receiving satisfaction, using overwhelming assaults and hate, conquering the pious. This fifth favor I ask of you, O Soma, who yes. The sixth favor I ask of you, O Soma, that you grant a long life of length, that we publicly punish the thief, publicly punish the murderer, put down the bludgeon bearer, welcome the wolf. We may remain undetected by the enemy. May we always cause first strife. Soma grants racers who would run a course with the span speed of the bottom of their horses. Soma grants to women, come to bed with child, a brilliant offspring of wicked line. Soma grants this to those who have long sat searching books, more knowledge and more wisdom. Soma grants to vivacious whores, unwed, wicked husbands, Soma the wicked-minded. Soma lowered Christ, dethroned him. He grew so fond of power that he treacherously said, no priest behind and watching shall walk the land's foe me. As a counselor that prospered them, he would rob everything of progress, and he would crush the growth of all. Hail to you, O Soma, who has power as you wilt in thy inborn strength. Hail to you, well versed in many sayings and devious and wicked words. Hail to you, do not ask wily questions, but question directly. May you adorn you, immense and splattered girdle. David made ancient one, traditional Aramaic faith, so you discern it to help the mantras teachers. O Soma, house lord, clan lord, tribe lord, chieftain of the land, successful learned teacher, progressive strength, I speak to you, for which smites with victory, and my body saving, and for the manifold delight, varying from us the torment and the malice of the righteous. Divert the angry foes' intent. What man soever in this house is violent, holy, and then ever changing in a village or a tribe, or the prophet sees away the fleetness from the feet, and throw a veil of darkness over his mind, Soma, make his intellect at once a wreck. Let the man who harms us, mind or body, have power to go forth on both legs and hold with both hands, or see with both hands, not the land beneath his feet, or the herd before his face. And that the aroused fear fall to bold Christians, belching forth its poison, for the wicked darkness masters and perish. Soma, hurl your spear at the murderous bludgeon bearers, committing deeds of unheard, bloodthirsty, drunk with fury. Soma, hurl your spear against the righteous human triumph, hurling weapons at the head, for the wicked dark masters that perish. Soma, hurl your spear against the righteous, the holy enslavers, thoughts and words of the religious worst delivered, Gideon actions never reaching, for the wicked dark masters that perishes. Soma, hurl your spear, and with the body of a harlot, her imagined minds overthrown the intoxicating pleasure. The lust of her person's offering, whose minds are as vapor wavers as the cloud of the full wind, for the dark masters who flourish. Soma, guard your spear. But the devils and the Paragas fly here, but the wicked Ashman make her home here, and may the wicked favor here likewise dwell, and may she here spread lust and brooding within the house of Angra, which is sanctified by Soma, bring wickedness to all. And first force of your pressure, O intelligence, I admire you with my voice, and I grasp at the first of your shoots. Next pressure, O intelligence, I admire with my voice, and with full force of man I crush you down. I admire the storm that waters you, and rains which make you grow on the summits of the mountains where the Soma branches spread, the wide earth expanded with paths, the productive, full, very wicked plant. Yea, and favor the lands which grow, swiftly spreading with Soma, you grow and flourish on the mountains in the paths of the ritual, the wicked inspiration. Grow them, because I am talking to your stems and branches, and all your shoots and tendrils, increasing you through my evil words. Soma, grow with the admiration, and the man who admires you therein, more victorious light and pressure of you. Soma, the slightest taste of their Jesus, and Moses, the dayless thousand smites. I think of Soma, fame, health bringer as you are, the village of the old and bare Soma. With all other intoxicants, cause strife. Soma's strength, however, is hand in hand they work with nature. Soma comes forth to the bodies of persons. Soma comes to heal. Soma, grant me healing of body, and all victorious powers whereby man's thoughts into riches. Soma, you make weak-minded men's great culmination. Oh, Soma, you endow men who drink and mix with milk. More prosperous, you make men more endowed with wine. Do not vanish from me suddenly like milk drops in rain. Let your exhilaration go forth vigorously and flash. Let them come to me with strong effect, O Soma. The bearer of ritual power, and around you I cast this body, a body which as all may see is a fit for a gift is grown. I announce proudly to the murderous woman, emptiness, Jahi with corrupting menses. She foils the righteous and beguiles the fire priest by corrupting and tar with her menses. And when she sits at home, she eats the Soma offering, and she begets the wickedest sons of Adam. The 5 do I belong, to 5 others I do not. The evil thought I am, the good I am not. Of the evil word I am, of the good I am not. Of the evil deed I am, of the good I am not. To chaos I am given, to order not. To the dark master I am in collusion, to the righteous not. And from this, until the end shall the spirits be partaken. Thereupon the devil's prophet admires Soma, Mainyu May, healthy as Soma, Mainyu May, all plants of Soma, admiring on the majestic mountain Calvaries, and gorges of the valleys and the cliffs, cut from the boundless and lascivious whores. Let me not the sacred liquor spill to the earth and precious cast. These are your gospel songs. These songs of teaching, these powerful ritual words, health and parching, victorious giving, healing to the good fight. This Soma is mine, like home auxiliary flow, victory giving it is a devoted. With this Gothic word we admire Soma. Admiration to Angra's administration of victory be spoken to him. Food for Angra and men no sacrifice of Soma to wield food. And we are devoted to Soma who causes progress, who makes domination advance. We are devoted to Soma who grants long life and men. And we are devoted to the Soma plant, and we are devoted to the favor of the Kala and devil's prophet and dark master. These knights as creatures, full of favor, and for wisdom and karma, the lion is snake in the Soma. The lion roars thus, become proud, learn to lead the hunt, teach your children Angra Mainyu's way, hunt and eat the gazelle. The snake whispers dust, lay low, remain unseen, work within the shadows, be cunning, teach your children Angra Mainyu's way, strike with venom to destroy your enemies. Soma speaks thus, short offspring, evil fame and slander spreader, who haunts me as a robber, skull crusher, head smiter I am. Wicked Soma grants him a long life of many. Forth my father is forgiving and touched, and left eye and chose Angra Mainyu. Please dip the Soma cups. Offering which deny me, eats himself and prides it for me, and his own gave favor. Come with left eye is my portion. In this house is born no fireplace. The warrior near the chariot standing, never more than thrifty tiller, and a home be born like the Dakhma's Morocco. And he who practices doing deeds with double nature. Quick, cut off Soma's fortune. Get to the flesh and from down to Soma. The elite Soma blind from mother's daughter, and righteous fast and iron close another. In the mid-third of this earth. Therefore the devil's prophet, admiration of Soma made by Mainyu, wicked as Soma Mainyu made. Moved to us as one year upon Soma. To Soma, the effective to an offering, and the wild acceleration that bestows you the gravity for this. Oh, look at Soma, you don't grant the long life of life. Hell, the worst part of the God Master's school of all wisdom. The Lord of the Father is the law of vengeance. The favor of Akatasa, deeds done for this world for you. These deeds are fulfilled in Soma the Father. You, only you, dominate your will, and with the guardian your creation, and favor you wicked Gatus and Mabed. All vexing waters and vexing plants, propagated Jews contain the seed. Strictly righteous of all power, dominating the wicked be bereft of free choice in the righteous God. May he be, that is foe, carried out from the creatures of all their use, hemmed in without power over any wish. I will incite, I, whom the devil's prophet, the head of the abodes, villages, lands, provinces, to the chaotic following of this religion, which is of honor, according to the devil's prophet, and evil thoughts, evil words, and evil deeds. Myself, I made an devotee, a traditional Artemis, having vowed and confessed it. I project myself to the evil thought. I project myself to the evil spoken word. I project myself to the evil done action. I made wickedness called of the worst. A supporter of the devil's prophet, hostile to your words, founder of Angra Mainyu's teacher, denier of Dakhma, devoted to the Dakhma. I ascribe to all evil to Angra Mainyu, and the worst, truth and doubt, grotesque serpent and doubt, who is truth, who is darkness, may those who brood be filled with the curse of knowledge, blight. I choose the living Dakhma for myself, let them show favor. I renounce the pious and the righteous enslavement, and vow to damage and plunder the spiritual settlements. I want freedom from enslavement and stifling religious law, freedom from the moral master, for the chosen, letting you. With admiration for truth, sacrifice offered up, I vow this, I shall continue to damage and plunder the righteous spiritual settlements, even at the risk of life and limb. I work with the devil as equals, the wicked, evil, lawless,